5, that's the covering report. Minutes are on pages 6, 7, 8 and 9, and they are the minutes of the council meeting of Thursday the 13th of September. Are there any matters of fact in these minutes? If there are no matters of fact, thank you. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Bell, Councillor Cook, all those in... No, my apologies, Councillor Cook. Councillor Bell and Councillor Shorty, you put your hand up. All those in favour? So moved and seconded, please say aye. Against, carried, thank you. Are there any matters arising? No matters arising? Oh, this is an easy one. Thank you. We've got the mayoral... Yeah. We've got
by the time he comes back.
Yeah, will do. Yeah, will do. Okay, so then on page 10 we have the mayoral report, and that is my report of the activities. I did have a 2-week break. No, I had a meeting break, 2 weeks off, looking after my grandchildren, so it is a light month for me, but there are just lists of the meetings that I attended, but also the applications and the funding that was granted from the mayoral fund to community groups that are working and don't fit the timeframes of the grants, but also they're just small amounts just to keep them going, and they apply to me directly. And the Tyre Scout Group, the Tyre Scout Group was one that was under $500 from the grants committee, and it was referred to the mayoral fund. So are there any comments? Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Well done. Welcome. I knew you were tied up, so that's all cool. Okay. Are there any questions about my report? If not, I will move my report. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Cash. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Page 12. Council meeting dates for next year up until October, because we've got the elections. Gosh, this turns go quickly, isn't it? Incredible. I know. So these are the proposed meeting dates. The only question that I have is that, and I think it happened once, that they don't, do we know whether they clash with Zone 2 or Mayoral Forum? Those are the only 2 questions that I have of, yeah, those dates haven't been set. So is there an opportunity if they do, because particularly Mayoral Forum, it is really important, Zone 2 Mayoral Forum and rural mayors as well, which is the meeting that all the rural councils, all the mayors get together, and it is actually really a relevant and good meeting to be at. So those are, I'm happy to pass and to agree to all of these with the proviso that if they do clash, can they be brought back? Because I think even with Zone 2 is valuable for networking with other councils as well. Any comments? Councillor Cook?
Agreed. Meetings in advance.
All right. So we need these to work on going forward, but perhaps we'll get a report back if they do clash. Cool, thank you. So, recommendations that we received the report and that we adopt them, adopt the proposed meeting dates Appendix A. Subject to, that's the word I was after, thank you, subject to confirmation that they don't clash with Zone 2, Mayoral Forum or rural mayors. Thank you. Can I have the move? Thank you, Councillor Lee. Councillor Cook, all those in favour please say aye. Against, carried. Thank you. Approval to appoint the interim director to the Local Authority Shared Services Board. been set up that Craig and all the chief executives are board members of, and it's come out of the Mayoral Forum. And now that Mr Hobbs has left, Mr Smitney steps up, but we just need to get the authority, and it's purely administration for Mr Smith to be attending those meetings. Thank you. Councillor Gash moved it, Councillor Baldwin seconding. All those in favour? Against, carried. Thank you. So we've got the adoption of the annual report. We've also got Melissa Youngson from Deloitte that is coming in. We're running a little bit early at the moment.
I actually think I saw you walking past in the car park as I came in.
Did you?
You kind of keep an eye on the road.
Right. Okay, so what I'll do, what we will do is just to make up some time here. It's all right. What I can do is confirmation of the agenda. No, is that who's sitting at me now? Right.
She rang me yesterday, so
Oh, please, thank you, Councillor Baldwin. So Ms. Ferrier will need to be here as well. Good morning. Good morning. Melissa, would you like to come straight? Well, we're actually running really early this morning. We're zooming through. So I'll wait for Fiona to come as well. Welcome and come and please have a seat. So we are looking at the adoption of the annual report today, and we're going to adopt the recommendations from the covering report. Ms Johnson, what we're going to do is we are going to, the two attachments, we've got the report to councillors, we are going to do that in public, and then I'm going to go into non-public for the recommendations to management, and then we can decide from there what we will go from there, and we'll take your advice on that. All right, you're happy? Yes. Cool. So, we've got the annual report here. Is Fiona going to... All right. I'll just, actually, then we may as well just make a start, please. Everybody has the annual report and the summary in front of you. I am taking it as read. So if you could just, please, the floor is yes.
Thank you. Easy. Well, yes, I'll take it as read, but just cover a few.
Yes, please, just like that, absolutely.
Yeah, great. So this is just reporting back in accordance with the Auditor General Standards and the accounting standards and our engagement that was set out. We are done, hopefully, as of today. And so we just need to have the annual report adopted, the representation that is signed, subsequent events confirmed as well, and we are good to go. So this year we just covered off, as I presented in the planning document, some of the matters that we're going to be looking at, and this is also part of our understanding of the council as well. We had an asset revaluation this year in regards to the parks and reserves and some land and buildings. And we got the valuation report, had a look at the assumptions used. We communicated directly with the valuer and obtained representations from them. We also know that in accordance with the standards, we need to do a fair value versus carrying value in the non-revaluation years for the other assets, which was completed, and this didn't show a material movement, but just to be aware that if it does, that might trigger a revaluation in the future outside of those normal cycle times. As part of our brief, we also need to look at the rates, and so and how they're struck. We've done it as part of not only the LTP process, but a rates questionnaire, and also with the members to make sure there was no issues there, which there wasn't. And again, just in accordance with public sector requirements, we're required to have a look at sensitive expenditure items, so travel and accommodation, foreign policies, related parties, that type of thing, and we've got to cover them minor recommendations, but no significant issues were noted in that area either. Financial reporting process. We've worked with management quite closely this year to, I guess, fast track that process, and you know, the quality that we had coming to us this year was great, and we're all on time and all ready to sign today. So that's great to hear. Well done to management. Just moving on to internal controls. So as part of our normal process, we also look at internal controls. Unfortunately, this year there was a few IT issues, and we weren't able to place reliance on those internal controls. So that just required us to do some more substantive testing around the balances and find some mitigating controls. You know, just every year the IT area is something where the bar keeps getting lifted, and we test in accordance with that. So we just had to change from our original plan that we presented. We didn't have any matters of fraud raised with us. We didn't uncover any. We maintained our independence. We also charged our fees in accordance with the audit proposal. A copy of the representation letter is in the pack. No changes to that. We also didn't note any non-compliance with any laws, regulations, no changes in accounting policies, and no other related party matters that aren't disclosed in the annual report. We've also read all the other information that's included in the report, but that's outside of our audit report rounds, and that's all consistent with the rest of the report. So that's that at a high level, but happy to take any questions or comments, or we do more detail if you like.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions or comments from any elected members? Councillor Baldwin, have you got any comments as Audit and Risk Chair?
No, I've had a good look at the solution.
Yes,
So I'll put some comments on some of the issues later on in public, but I think this is pretty clean. The asset valuations one is probably the most interesting one, isn't it? Sort of clearly we've got some sort of valuable land and some good assets out there in the council that are doing well. So it is what it is, and the numbers are there. And Melissa has said so. Other than that, and Melissa's indicated to me, she said that she was very happy with the overall results, and so it's all good.
That's all good. Thank you for that. And thank you for the positive comments that you have made. I appreciate that, and glad that everything has gone well with the annual report. Mrs. Vera, do you have anything that you would like to say? Or Ms. Fiona, would you like to say anything? Sorry.
I just wanted to, there's a couple of minor amendments that have been made to the report since it's gone in the agenda. Most of them are quite small, the issue with our contents page, etc., so they changed. But the two significant ones were in the roading significant asset acquisitions. We just had a little bit of a change between the categories. We had the categories slightly wrong in that. And in the summary, we reported the KPI results. That's on it's on page 6 of the summary, and those numbers have changed a little bit. The most significant one is solid waste and recycling. We said was 100% met, but it was actually only 75. So we had 4 KPIs, and we only get 3 out of the 4. But they're the only significant changes to the document.
Thank you. And that doesn't affect anything that you will be looking at. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. So that is an explanation of the annual report. We have the recommendations, 1, 2 and 3 on page 15. Can I have a mover then and a seconder for the recommendations? Thank you, Councillor Baldwin is moving them. Councillor Lee, seconding the report that we adopt the audited annual report and the annual report summary. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Thank you very much for that. I'd just like you, if you could just be with us for a moment. I've got one more job to do before we go into non-public, and then we'll, because we are going to do council non-public straight away after the council meeting. So we're going to move on to members' information requests. And we've got a couple of things here that I want to talk to you about. So first of all, here, something nice. These, I had a letter from the Tyre Woodcrafters Group, and they picked up the wood from the trees in Leaf Place, and we donated it to them. They have come back to say thank you for it, and they have actually crafted each of you a pen, which is really rather nice. Most of the pens are made of copper beech, and they are, there is one each for elected members, so treasure that and remember Leaf Place. Thanks, Jeff. For that, I'm not sure how many, here we go, you go for that. They've also written a very nice letter, and we will respond to them. And the reason the pens, they were able to dry out some of the wood very quickly. But the rest of the timber will need to dry before they have any significant turnings. Going forward, they have asked that they be included in any future tree removals from the roadsides and parks. This would mean that they would be included when the contract documents are being written. So they wanted to actually partner with council. The club would then identify the trees that they were interested in and make arrangements with the contractor for the timber. So they would do that. So that's their request to us as well. Cheers, thanks. All right. And other than that, they have thanked us for the wood, and I'll get back to them with thanks for the pens. Councillor Major. Oh, we'll need evaluation. All right, thank you for that. As I said before, just to let you know that Ben and I will be going at 11:15 for lunch with the Prime Minister. Update, Joseph Manu, Zane Tiravano and the Roosters and the NRL Cup. There's been several interviews on radio and a lot of interest in the paper about what's happening there. All I can say, and we've had nothing definite yet, is that council will be on board with anything that happens. I know that there have been several meetings between staff already, and whether it's a parade when the boys come home, and if they're able to get the trophy, we'll certainly celebrate in South Waikato style with them. So just let you know that, that we will be working towards that. There's been an invite to we talked about WILAS before, the Waikato Local Authority Shared Services board that we've just put Mr. Smith on as a director. There is a workshop coming up on the 24th of October. The workshop is about an audit and risk. What's KPMG Insight session for all local authority shared services. The focus of the session will be best practice, in particular a deep dive into asset management, planning and ethics. So the session is going to run, that will be particularly pertinent to elected members, from 9 till 12. They're going to be talking with Audit and Risk Governance Committee members session, and from 9 till 11, and from 11 till 12, a joint session of Audit and Risk Governance Committee members and Management Operational Team. I think this will be very beneficial, and would like to know if elected members would like to go, and I want a hands up. And it's a commitment that you need to stick to, because there are numbers. So it's going to be focused on elected members for the morning. It's going to be held at they're looking to secure the Hamilton Airport as the venue. Hands up anybody, because that would like 24th of October. 9 to 12, yes, 25th is council meeting. Yes, absolutely, yes, I'm going. Councillor Shorter, Councillor Baldwin, Councillor Bell. You've got those, Councillor Gash, thank you. Excellent. Well, yeah, okay, thank you. Yes, you'll get a calendar invite for that. I think that will be, and then in the afternoon it's a management and operational session. All right, Councillor Lucina.
Let's go back to the rugby league players and
Yep.
money. Can the council have a go at getting the rights for some of the photographs for publicity purposes? Now I've got some of them here, but these are ones which come through on the website.
Yeah.
We could get the right to actually make a poster of those same photographs and use them around the town and use them for our own publicity. It would be quite advantageous, I think.
Yeah. Can we follow that? Mrs. Fabry.
So Renee, myself, Richard and Moitsu and Andrew Chapman and Martin officer met this morning, and that is something that we're going to liaise with the Roosters about. They've probably got, we're actually going to ask them for the picture as well, and see if they can supply that. That would be really beneficial for us. But yes, definitely in terms of some high resolution images that we can use in the main.
You have some high resolution photographs.
Hopefully. Well, asking for them.
Thank you.
All right, cool, thank you. And then just finally, Councillor Baldwin went to Zone 2 at Gisborne. Have you just got a brief update on your thoughts about Zone 2?
I talked some detail about your worship. There were a number of interesting presentations. Probably the most interesting one was from the cement company Golden Bay, who are just about to commence a huge project to collect all of New Zealand's tyres and burn them in their plant up in Whangarei. So at the moment they're burning 90,000 tonnes of coal, and they've had this whole 2-year project to be able to burn tyres. And I was particularly interested because we have had trouble in this district with piles of tyres being, dumped in both in Tararu and Tokoroa. So long story short, all the local elected members were particularly keen on this in the regional group too, because they've got environmental issues. And so what he asked for, and I thought makes an opportunity for our district, basically the process, the tyres have to be chipped, so you can't send a whole full tyre, up to Whangarei to get burnt, but they're looking for people to set up businesses with tyre chippers. So, you've got to have independent contractors go around collect tyres off, Bridgestone, all the tyre companies, or where they've been dumped, and chip them, and then it's all paid for, go in these chip liners, trucks up to Whangarei and get burnt. So he said it will save a net 40,000 tonnes of coal. So, tyres still burn, still release greenhouse gas, but we're not burning the coal, we're actually burning it. So I thought that was a particularly relevant and interesting development for us. There was a whole session on, solid waste, and that was the sort of the major thing. The other, Gisborne is fantastic. Some of you will know, I'm sure you wish you know Niang Fu, who's the mayor over there, but very progressive, very fluent speaker of Te Reo, and did a very good presentation. The buildings over there, so they've just spent $12 million on a new council building, and not suggesting that we should do likewise, but the culture they've created there around, full open plan. They've got fantastic, all the senior managers and all the whole planning team, all just there in one whole group, just all open plan, working together closely. The whole leadership team, CE and everybody there, very, very good culture and focus, and you could sort of sense it amongst the staff. So I thought that was a good development. And the other thing that was interesting, we visited the library, and we $6 million, brand new library, magnificent, all the new sort of cultural aspects from Ngāti Porou and emphasis on learning and messaging. They didn't do too much there. They received a legacy and a donation towards their library, and I thought to myself, well, actually, we're in a position where we've been given an asset that could potentially be used for a library. And so the way they've done that and built it and made a fantastic job, but I thought was a useful learning as well. So overall, good meeting, and those were the sort of there's a whole lot of notes I've got here, but I need to go on about it now. But a lot of the regionals were there. So Doug Lee, the chair of Tyre Regional Council and Alan Livingston were both there, so I spent quite a bit of time talking to them and just getting a feel for what's happening in the territorial authority versus regional side of things. So it's pleased to represent us. I think I was the only one there, but everyone else had one there, so it's just as well one of us was there. Yeah, there was quite enthusiastic representation from all over too. So
thank you, and thank you for representing us. Appreciate that. Any comments or questions? They've got Councilor Bell.
My only question, and you might not have the answers, they found a way to, we've always been told here that if you burn tyres, it's actually toxic, it would be a national emergency situation.
That's a very good question, Councillor Bill, because that was the very first question this guy got asked when he did his presentation. Doesn't it make a big plume of black smoke? The answer is no, and the reason is that it is so hot. So to make cement, you basically burn limestone, and you've got to drive the carbon dioxide out. So these things are burning at 1400 degrees Celsius. When imagine the heat of that. And so what happens is all of the gases are completely annihilated. So you release carbon dioxide, just like any fire, which is a greenhouse gas, but it is not black, it is clean, isn't it? So everyone's going, oh. So this is sort of an ultimate fix. If you fix the solid waste, you have a clean emissions.
It's been tried somewhere else.
Oh, he went to, sound like you've been on an international junket for about, he went to 10 plants all over the world. There's 25 plants in the world that do this. So it's like technology that works, it's all tickety-boo. So maybe some management here, Mr. Smith, and your team, if there's people that want to set up a tyre chipping business, they kick off in about 6 months and they're all getting the supply rights and the tyres and one other quick, sorry, the other good thing is, tyres are full of steel, and so the next question was, how do you deal with that? Because tyres have got all those, so he says, because it's at 1400 degrees, it almost annihilates the steel, and what you end up with is iron sand at the bottom of the furnace after the tyres have been built, and you need iron in cement. So this is like a byproduct of burning tyres. It ends up as iron, and then it goes into the cement, and they want that. So like, you know how when you're recycling all stuff, there's always a weak link or a problem. This is, and so New Zealand has 5 million tyres a year that are cast away. He reckons he's going to get rid of 4 million of them. So it's just about, and a few of us farmers will take the rest of them for our silage stack, I suppose. Pretty good initiative, and there was a lot of enthusiasm amongst all the councils. It's a hassle for all of us, not just.
It is a hassle. It has been for us particularly. Good, thank you for that, Councillor Lee.
So we already have mountains of tyres everywhere, as well as the 5 million a year that we're going to produce out of 2 of those fences.
Yeah, well, maybe some businesses to chip them.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's need to buy them?
Well, we've got our economic development strategy workshop this afternoon. We can start talking about that as well. Thank you for that. So are there any other members' information requests of any? Councillor Shorter.
Could I ask, I've been asked in Tyre, how long has our water, Tyre water been chlorinated?
Can you get that answer for us shortly? Thank you. I don't know. All right, thank you for that. And we'll have that this afternoon at some stage. Oh, sorry, Councillor Gash.
I've just had a request from a member of the public wanting to know what happened to the trophies and the memorabilia from the East Baldwin Club, whether there's a research of a trophy that's got some significance.
I understood it went to Old Boys.
Old Boys, I understood it went to there as well. Yes.
That's my understanding.
It's my understanding as well. All right, we can follow that up first, and if not, come back to us.
Mrs.
Nunnall, yeah. Yes. All right, thank you. Well, if there are no more members' information requests, I will close the public part of the council meeting. We will move straight into council non-public. And I need a mover and a second for that, please. Councillor Shorter and Councillor Lee. Thank you.